Good evening and welcome to Inside the Bubble, another great show of highlights, news, information, the Care 11, Top 11, and much more. Matt Harrington, great to have you on board, and thanks for joining us after a hectic week in Montreal, which was awesome. Can't wait to get started.
Yeah, I'm excited to be back here, Pete. We had some great games this week on tap, which we'll get into, and looking forward to showing what we got for highlights and more.
And Brandon Spratt, you were on the IR, not feeling well. Welcome back. Good to have you on board.
Yeah, thanks. We're fighting through a little bit of that winter sickness, but was able to get back on a couple games yesterday and excited to bring another great show to all the fans.
Everybody loves your golden tones. There's nobody better, and we appreciate all the work that you put in. Glad you're feeling well, and we're going to get now into the highlights, and we had so many to choose from. We're going to go first to the Eden Prairie Community Center, where it's a late conference matchup early in the season, and these teams are facing off. Wayzata and Eden Prairie. Carson Clark from the right circle leans into it short side, and it's 1-0. Finn D. St. Hubert and Eli Mulvey on the assist. Look at this. Off the draw. Chase Clute is white hot. Goal number 7. One-timer right to the back of the net. And we're tied at 1. We will roll along now into the second period. Nice pass to Freeharn. They look over to the left side. Blasting that one home is Clute for goal number 8. Freeharn and Michael Ertl on the assist. And Bindi St. Hubert's going to toe the line. Our guy, Doug McLeod, would say swashbuckle. There's a quick wrister in the back of the net. We're tied at 2. Nothing will be solved at the end of regulation. And to overtime we go. John Kleiss waits on the doorstep. Look how muddy it is down there. Just all sorts of trouble. Buries it. Caselli is legit. They go on to win by a score of 3-2. A big win for the Eden Prairie Eagles, who are off to an absolutely red-hot start here. Clute with his 2 goals. Wayzata and Eden Prairie will rematch on January 11th.
All right, we take you out to Orono as the Spartans host the Raiders. 2 teams always around the top of the Class A rankings. Second period here in Orono's Jackson Knight, one of the top scorers in the state. Able to put this one home for Spartans' 1-0 lead. Less than a minute later, on the rush here, nifty backhand, and the rebound's going to be cleaned up by Ethan Pagel. Spartans go up 2-0 in this one. However, Northfield would battle back here. This one fed out front, and this rebound cleaned up as well. Michael Stewart getting the Raiders on the board. 2-1 heading into the third period. Early third period here, about 6 minutes in. It's going to be Will Cashin. As you can see, rebounds, kind of the theme of this game. Cashin cleans it up to tie it up at 2. Into the final few minutes we go. This is going to be a pretty goal here. The whole line touches it. Christian Whiteman finishing into the open net there. Slick passing play. Raiders come all the way back. And then with the net pulled, this is going to be a big-time foot race here. Watch the effort by Will Cashin. He's going to take it all the way in and leaves no doubt into the empty net. Raiders come back and win it 4-2 and get a big win here over Orono.
Benilde St. Margaret's in Andover. It's been a tough start to the year for the Huskies, trying to turn the table here in this one. Red Knights, though, looking to strike first. An opportunity in front. This is Cam Kirshner with the first goal of the game. Benilde takes the 1-0 lead. Look at this individual effort here from Keegan Davis, and then he backhands it over. What a play over to Cam Kirshner. That was his second of the game as the Red Knights go up 2-0. Andover, though, oh, look at the moves here and the finish. Boy, tons of top 10 worthy plays here. That was Luke Babineau, rather, with the goal. Andover would tie it up this time. It's Chase Nato with the power play goal. That made it 2-2. Into overtime we go. Final minute and a half of OT, and Benilde with an opportunity that gets through. It's Noah Johnson. It's an overtime winner for the Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights as they defeat the Andover Huskies by a final score of 3-2. Andover, a lot of close games, but 0-4 in 1-goal games this year.
We're going to go back to the Eden Prairie Community Center, a Section 2AA matchup. Look at this play. Rio Treehorn stick lift, protects the puck. That is top 10 worthy. He buries, and it's 1-0 Eden Prairie. That was on a power play. Eagles were on fire to start this game. Here's Chase Clute. Goal number 9. There he is from far long range there. He makes it 2-0. But Peyton Chase will reply here for the Shakopee Sabres. Backdoor down to one knee, finishes, and he knows how to celly. It's 2-1 Eden Prairie, though, gets the 2-goal lead back as they reclaim it. Nice little play up the right wing wall here. Gavin Dick finds John Kleiss, and he scores to make it 3-1 at the break. Whoa, look out. but the Eagles weren't done. They're going to go up 4-1. Gavin Zick will score his first career goal right there. Walked it to the slot, finishes. And the Eden Prairie Eagles are feeling good, but the Shakopee Sabres say not so fast. They start to fire back. There's chase again. Carter Wagner and Doctor on the assist for that one. And that's going to be another goal as that one comes from long range there. And it is now 4-3. We're going to tie it up at 4 here. There's another one. Look at this thing. That just trickles up and over Zach Doctor from Will O'Neill as he evens it up at 4. Actually, that was Tristan Wazin guess. So now watch Nick Coring wires that one. Nice shot, low to the glove hand side. And he gives the Eagles the 5-4 lead. Watch this. The stick's going to break. That blade is going to drop right there on the right of your screen. That forces the turnover. And here come the Eagles here in the third period. And there's a big goal scored there to give themselves the 6-4 lead. Now again, another shot by Cooper Seegert. That was late in the game with 47 seconds left. But the Eagles will hang on. 44 shots, including 21 in the game for Shakopee in the third period.
Wow, the Eagles keeping you busy on the calls this week, Pete. How about this one? Holy Family Totino Grace on Saturday. Fire get out to the 1-0 lead on the power play goal by Sawyer Graubens there. We take it, though, later first period. It's going to be Totino cleaning up this rebound here. Ian Johnson ties it up at 1 as we'll head into the second period. Holy Family, they're going to steal this puck here as Totino looking to break it out. It's Andon Roy straight to the net. Nice finish back across the grain. Puts the Fire up 2-1. And then late in the period here, they're going to hold this puck in. Slipped here to Barrett with a nice move, and he snaps it home. Jack Barrett puts Holy Family up 3-1. Into the third period, now it's Totino on the power play. Through the screen there, Gus Hayes going to clean up the rebound to make it a 1-goal game. And then just a few minutes later, Totino prowling for that tying goal. They're going to get a good forecheck here to steal the puck. Turnover, quick snapshot. Roger Morad ties it up at 3. Into overtime we go. Fire get a clean face-off win. They're going to sling it D to D and through the traffic, through the mess. Carson Moe, the overtime winner. Fire get a 4-3 win. That's their 4th straight after starting 0-2 on the season.
We go down to some other notable scores. How about Moorhead absolutely beating down the Roseau Rams? 9-0 the score there. St. Thomas Academy is averaging 10 goals a game, and they do so in that against Chanhassen. And then Monticello with a statement win over Northfield. Woodbury beats Eastridge in a crosstown rivalry 6-3. Orono and East Grand Forks, nobody a winner there as they end in a 2-2 tie. And then finally, Cretin-Derham Hall with a nice win over the Holy Angel Stars. All right, let's jump into the girls' highlights now. Eden Prairie and Edina, great late conference rivalry this has become on the girls' hockey side. It's a scramble in front here, some chaos, but Lorelei Nelson able to find it and put it home for the 1-0 Edina lead. Eden Prairie would answer, though. This is Ava Moen in the zone, and the rebound comes right to Tatum Elvin, who ties it up at 1 for the Eden Prairie Eagles. This is Kate McCoy now down the left-hand side. Tough angle shot, but gets it through the goaltender. What a shot from McCoy. And Edina goes on to win this one by a score of 3-1, out shooting the Eagles 31-10. Those teams will play again on January 21st.
Let's head to Delano, where it's Breck at Delano. A great matchup here early on in the season. The Tigers of Delano lead 1-0, and it's Alexis Scherf who swats that one in. Look at that great stick in front. It's 1-0 or 1-1 between these two teams, but the Tigers will reclaim the lead. That's Kaylee Olson, even strength marker, and it is now going to be tied on a nice little play here. Mackenzie Perry will put it in the back of the net for the Breck Mustangs. Now, Delano will score 2 straight. Here's the first one. Good work out of the corner here. And it's Elena Pettit with a stick on the ice for you young kids at home. Terrific job there to finish. They now have the 3-2 lead. It'll be Pettit again as she is lurking around slot area. Goes upstairs, and it is now 4-2 in the third period. Delano feeling good, but the Mustangs aren't done. They're going to unload for 3 straight. The first of those is McKenna Schleiman. She scores from Ulrich and LaFleur, and then that was at 10:20. Then at 11:28, here's LaFleur with her first of 2 in a row. He now has her club even at 4, and then LaFleur will walk with the game winner. Look at that, finds the back of the net, and a big road win. There's just 28 seconds showing on the clock. Ellen Rockford's Olsen had a goal and 2 assists.
We go to the St. Louis Park Rec Center, big-time matchup between a couple of teams in the Care 11 Top 11, Benilde and Andover. Andover won both these games last year. Looked like they might be doing the same here to start. Maya Engler, the St. Thomas commit, with a goal to make it 1-0. Benilde St. Margaret's, though, the power play has been great for them this year, and it's even better here for Bryn Heising. What a player she has turned out to be for the Red Knights. It is a 1-1 game now in the second period. Later in the second period now, Benilde still on the power play. Huge stretch pass here for another Division I commit, Kendall Hassler. What a goal from Hassler on the tough side of the goal for Benilde. Rusinski with a couple of assists. Andover already 4 losses on the year.
Intriguing battle of AA against Class A. Edina visiting Holy Angels. Pick it up early first period with the Hornets on the power play. They make it look easy. Libby Moe's shot, rebound is turned down, but Lorelai Nelson scores there. Moe's going to turn this one over, though, at the blue line as the Stars had just killed a penalty. 3-on-1, Jenny Nelson to Taylor Lesnar as they break for the goal to tie the game up at 1. Here's Libby Moe, though, getting a goal in her own right. Hard to believe it's her first of the year as she is turning into quite a player for the Hornets. Watch this one here. Whole line's going to touch it in quick succession. Kate McCoy blasts it into the top shelf to put the Hornets up now 3-1. And then Whitney Horton winning a good board battle here for Edina will score on the backhand. Edina looks firmly in control 4-1 after 2. However, Avery Mullen's going to score here shorthanded as this one just trickles into the back of the net. Stars have life, and they would keep rolling. Watch this one here. Marissa Jung out front. Great tip. Great hand-eye. It's a 1-goal game going down the stretch in the third period. Stars, though, they go shorthanded again, and Edina's deadly power play cashes in again. Lorelai Nelson, her second of the day. Hornets' power play is at over 50% at this point in the season.
Little Section 8 AA action featuring Roseau at Brainerd Little Falls. And the goal scoring will get started first here. Brainerd Little Falls goes up. Raya Glass puts home the rebound from the slot area. It's 1-0. Roseau will level it at 1. Greta Hedlund will walk from the slot, slapper, and she scores. Amelia Kaveen with the assist there. Another 1-goal lead for Brainerd Little Falls. That's Kate Boberg as she slams that home down low. A lot of good work down around the slot area. Roseau now will take over the third period. Lily Erickson receives the pass, and that one's knocked in. That's Erickson with the goal, and she gets the job done there. And then they will score the eventual game winner. Look at Hovda. A little move inside out, and she just leaves it and lets it go into the back of the net. And the Roseau Rams go on to win by a score of 3-2. 6 different point getters in that game.
All right, let's take a look at some other notable scores for girls hockey this week. Mound Westonka, Southwest Christian with a 4-1 win over South St. Paul. Blake defeating Dodge County. How about that? The Wildcats lose their first game of the year. And then Andover gets a 3-1 win over Warren. Centennial Spring Lake Park defeats their rival Maple Grove in overtime to stay unbeaten. Minnetonka grinding out a 2-0 win over Moorhead. And Benilde St. Margaret's defeats Bemidji in their weekend trip up north.
Great action this week, and we have a good segment coming up. We'll take a look at the top 5 games of the week, and then we're going to be joined by Eric Ratke from Hockey Day, Minnesota.
Neighbor would give you a cup of sugar if you asked. At True Stone Financial, we don't have any sugar, but we will give you up to $350 when you switch to a True Stone checking account. It's true, because we're True Stone.
Taco John's queso is back, and it's so good you could drink it. Well, you could, but it's better on fried chicken tacos. This cheesy queso boss burrito should quench your thirst for that hatch chili kick. creamy 3-cheese queso is good enough to drink, but better on nachos. Our whole menu is just waiting to be dipped or dunked. So even though it's so good you could drink it, forget it. Get me a straw. The Ultimate Queso Takeover is back at Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
Welcome back to Inside the Bubble, where we bring in a very special guest today here. It is Eric Radke of Hockey Day, Minnesota. Thanks for joining us today, Eric. And you guys have been doing a lot of work getting things together, and I really wanted to talk more about some of the great things that are going on. So thanks for joining the bubble here today.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Pete. Thanks a lot.
So you have the dubious distinction. Are you like the event coordinator? What is your specific title? I mean, I would say it's like all hats.
Yeah, I've got a phrase that I've used a couple of times. Each time a new community gets assigned to take on Hockey Day, it's good that they sign it to a town, because it really does take a village to make Hockey Day work. And so there's a whole army of dedicated hockey fans that and enthusiasts all around the communities that are chipping in. So I just get to be a part of it, Pete.
So far to date, what have you found in terms of things maybe that are impacting Shakopee hockey and the community as a whole that maybe you weren't expecting?
Yeah, we'll be the 19th community to be able to host a Hockey Day. So in almost its 20-year tradition, you learn a lot of things about how to put an event like this together. So we've had great relationships with past local organizing committees that have been able to give us a lot of wisdom about these things. But then it really becomes all about being able to showcase your town, right? Showcase your hockey community. And we think we've got a story to tell. Sometimes it might raise a little eyebrow. Oh, Shakopee hosting Hockey Day. So we were thrilled when the Minnesota Wild selected our small little hockey community to be able to host this event, because we think we've got some pretty unique things to share. And I hope we can get into that a little bit today, Pete.
Absolutely. Well, what are some of those things? I know we've seen things that are unique to each community. When you go, there's a bit of a theme and thing like that. So if you are going to be attending, and we'd love to see all of the state of hockey attending these great games at Shakopee, can you give us some sneak peeks as to what that will look like, what that character is going to be? Yeah,
absolutely. If you're from Shakopee and you kind of want to explain, oh yeah, that's where fill in the blank. What do people say? Well, that's where Valley Fair is, right? It's an iconic Minnesota destination, and it's here in our community. So from the get-go, as we were really, after we were awarded the bid, we had a chance to really sit down with Valley Fair, and they got on board soon. And so that's going to be our venue for Hockey Day, a chance to host this event out at Valley Fair. And immediately that makes this really fun to plan. So in partnership with Valley Fair, if you are thinking about coming out to Hockey Day, you're also coming to Valley Fair. And what that means is that in their nearly 50-year history at Valley Fair, they've never opened in the winter. They are for Hockey Day. As the state of hockey converges on Shakopee, they have committed, you know what, it's the winter. They've never been open before, but they've committed to running up to, and weather permitting, 5 rides. So you want to come to Hockey Day and jump on a ride at Valley Fair, that's all part of this experience as well.
That is absolutely amazing. There's nothing more uniquely Shakopee than that. But I think what's really good about that is that'll promote hockey fans of all ages to be able to come and be a part of this. What is the best way? I would suggest getting tickets now, because this is going to be a busy situation. Get them now, get out there. But this is also going Wednesday through Saturday, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Because of our partnership with Valley Fair, we get an opportunity to really open up the schedule. And you think about it. Look, we're in the Southwest Metro. There's so much quality hockey being played all around us that when we raised the flag and said, hey, who's interested in playing at Hockey Day? Well, we got a ton of interest. And so we have a jam-packed, we've got 11 high school games on the schedule. We have a Division I college game on the schedule. We have an alumni game on the schedule. And so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, some real quality hockey. And I think that makes us pretty unique compared to some of the other venues.
I think it really does. And I was obviously running the schedule as you were suggesting those over the video here. And there's matchups from teams from throughout the state, which I think is great. And you also have some really good rivalry matchups. Really in the end, it's always about the hockey, and it's the experience that supplements it. And you've got some great hockey. Final question for you. Is there anything the public can do to help assist with what you need to do to either get the word out or to assist in with what's going to be a great event?
Look, if you're hearing the sound of my voice, head on over to hockeydaymn.com. Go ahead and look at that schedule. There's opportunities for hockey enthusiasts to jump on, grab a volunteer shift if they're interested. We've got Hockey Day merchandise. If you think that you like the hoodie, you like the hat, you're into the swag, we've got all of that on sale. Plus, of course, ticket packages are available right now for sale. And so I would highly encourage anyone to go ahead and just buy that ticket. Look at the schedule. My recommendation for the best experience is to grab that season pass. That'll get you in all 4 days, because every single day there will be new amazing hockey being played down in Shakopee for Hockey Day, Minnesota.
We're looking forward to a great event. Thank you for hosting. Your work has been impressive, and you have a real job to do as well, but you've made a great effort with this. I know the work you're putting into this, and I know the entire state of Minnesota appreciates you and your team and all the things you're doing. Thanks for joining Inside the Bubble, Eric.
Appreciate you, Pete.
We will jump straight to the top 5 network games of the week for the girls last week before Christmas. Battle of Mankato on Tuesday night should be a good one. Big section matchup as Mound West Tonka Southwest Christian travels to Delano. This one always intriguing on the calendar. Edina at Holy Family. Hillmurray also at Andover on Saturday.
We go to the boys network games of the week. Wayzata and Benilde St. Margaret's. And then Orono and Minneapolis, a couple of solid Class A programs so far this year. Warroad and East Grand Forks, what a great rivalry that is. Shakopee at Minnetonka. And then, of course, all the games in the Edina Holiday Classic.
Legendary weekend that'll be. Matt, the top 10 plays of the week. I can't see what you brewed up for here this weekend. We will turn it over to you. Take it over, sir.
All right, let's get into it. Top 10 plays of the week. We're going to start over at Braemar Arena with Edina girls against Farmington. And this is going to be, or pardon me, this is Mason West for Edina, still at Braemar Arena against another Orange team, St. Louis Park. Now, this is Audrey Davis that I was just mentioning, stealing that puck away, and then nice finish top shelf on the breakaway. Edina would win that one pretty handily. Hopkins and Minnesota River. This is Brady Terstig with a beautiful finish. Great connection with the teammates there at neutral ice. Rosemont and Delano boys. Oh, look at that. Tic-tac-toe in the beauty. And it is Josh Toll. We'll watch this one more time.
You slowed it down for us, Matt.
Absolutely slowing it down. Number 6, you saw this one earlier with our very own Pete Wagner on the call. Look at the finish and the finesse off the skate of Treharn, and great finish as well. Delano and Breck, well, look at this maneuver here from Mackenzie Perry. One hand on the stick, gets past the defender, jumps and lands on her feet. Really impressive stuff there. And then it is Brainerd and Roseau. You saw Jasmine Hovda do this earlier. And look at the dangles. And then not sure if that was intentional or not at the end, but it's awfully impressive regardless. It takes incredible patience and poise on the stick handling. Did the Nikita Kucherov there on the shootout. And over in Benilde St. Margaret's. How about the pool cue stuff here from Keegan Davis, and then the finish over from Kirshner. Just incredibly impressive. And gloves it down too. No hand pass. You just keep it down just like that and goes past.
Matt, we call that multitasking in the game.
That's right. How about Bella Finnegan putting on an absolute clinic against the Moorhead Spuds? That would be the second goal of the game for Minnetonka. I mean, this is incredible stuff.
She's finding her goal-scoring touch.
That's right. That's why she's a Harvard commit. And then how about this? This is Eli Malinkovich hitting the Michigan as Minneapolis defeats Highland Park.
I mean, if I'm a goaltender, no Michigan scored here ever again. You know what's coming. Just please.
How many more are we going to have?
Don't let it happen. Let's fire off the top 11.
All right. Number 1, Centennial Spring Lake Park. They stay at number 1, hitting a perfect 10-0 with that big overtime win. They do the double over their rivals Maple Grove. Benilde, we saw the big win. They're going to leapfrog a couple squads into the top 5 after defeating Andover. But otherwise, it's the same 11 squads, a little bit of a different order this week. Woodbury is undefeated through its first 10 games. They avenged their tie, if you will. They beat Cretin-Durham Hall yesterday. And Moorhead will jump Roseau. They trade places after a head-to-head win this week, too.
Yeah, and overall, Brandon, I thought, for once we finally get the same 11 teams in girls AA. We've had a couple that have come in and out over the weeks. But Woodbury's been impressive, 9-0-1. Moorhead did have that head-to-head win, as you mentioned. And I look at Rosemount, too. They're just kind of chugging along at 8-3. Didn't move this week, but overall it's been a good week for the girls AA. That's for sure. As we'll jump into the girls A now, and we have a new number 1. It is the Academy of Holy Angels. They did lose a game to a very good AA program in Edina. Dodge County, of course, does fall just one spot after their loss to the Blake Bears, who comes into the rankings as the only new team this week, Brandon, at 6-4, and then Marshall and Minnesota River taking care of business down south.
Yeah, Marshall 13-0. That's incredible. They may play their toughest game of the season, though, this week as they host the Eden Prairie Eagles, making a long road trip down there. Love what Minnesota River has done. Matt, as you know, I've been driving the Blake bandwagon since I saw them in the second week of the season against Holy Angels. I think they are going to be a problem as they effectively take South St. Paul's spot in the rankings after defeating Dodge County. All 3 of those teams in the same section. Holy Angels back to number 1 as their only 2 losses against a couple of, the top teams in AA. It's Edina and Andover. Impressive stuff, but this is a really good overall group of girls Class A teams. Into boys AA now, and relative clarity this week is the top 6 teams. None of them lost. They all had good results. Rosemount, just like girls AA, they're in the boys AA as well, but an impressive 8-0 record there. They're up a few spots. Eden Prairie is new. We saw their 2 huge wins over Wayzata and Shakopee this week. Trojans tumbled just a bit, but they'll stay in at number 10. Stillwater losing to Rogers, and Benilde takes the place of Holy Angels, although I think it's razor thin. We will see those teams play later this season.
Yeah, and I think overall it's starting to take a little bit more shape. I remember the first week or two we were doing this, we didn't know where to put anybody really at the start, but the cadets seriously averaging 10 goals a game through the first 6. I don't care who you're playing. That's impressive. And they have, I think, been the clear-cut number 1 team right now in boys AA. We'll move on to the Class A boys ranking. It's a little bit more chaotic this week. Hermantown now has 2 ties after the Duluth Marshall Hilltoppers played a little bit of spoiler there in a tie with the Hawks. Cloquet-Esco Carlton, no blemishes on their record. They're 6-0-0. Hibbing Chisholm starting to find their groove at 7-2. And then Monticello, maybe the biggest surprise so far, Brandon, in the rankings at 6-0-0. A statement win over Northfield. And then, of course, we welcome back the Laverne Cardinals as well.
Yeah, you said it. And how about Cloquet-Esco Carlton and Monticello? I mean, just proving that we don't really know what we're talking about, right? I mean, 2 teams that were not in our preseason top 5, maybe not even the top 11. I think Monticello might have been, but those 2 teams have just done nothing but win. Cloquet-Esco Carlton will have a big game against the defending state champs Cathedral this week, who are 2-2-2, a little bit of an odd start for them, but they've played a really, really tough schedule, so we keep them at 7. We welcome back Laverne as well, like you said. Their only blemish a tie to Waseca. All right, girls hockey night in Minnesota. Big one Tuesday night near the top of the Class A rankings features Orono traveling to Dodge County, 7 p.m. puck drop. Matt, I'm very excited for you to experience some of that Dodge County Southern Minnesota hospitality. They were wonderful last season welcoming me for a hockey night in Minnesota game. Hope you have the same experience there as well.
Yeah, looking forward to that one as well, Brandon, as we'll look at the boys game of the week too, and it's going to be a good one versus a West Metro team and an East Metro team. Stillwater will visit Benilde St. Margaret's, another afternoon game. We should call it hockey afternoon in Minnesota for our Saturday games, but it's been a really good slate of games so far, and we'll continue that on Saturday, the 21st, 3 p.m. puck drop between Stillwater and Benilde St. Margaret's. Pete Wagner, we throw it to you.
Be sure to follow us for all of our social media on X, Instagram, and Facebook. We'll have all your news and information set up for you, and that'll wrap up another great show. By the way, coming up this week, we plan to debut our MN Hockey TV Power Play program, a version of the Manning Cast. I guess that's the best way to say it. Can't wait to do that. Have a great week, gentlemen, and thank you for joining.